this is Dr.T Varalakshmi and I'm going to be discussing you the definitions and terminologies in the Unit 3, that is Markets and New Economic Environment under the Business Economics and Financial Analysis. Unit 3 is about Markets and New Economic Environment, which means once a product is the demand for the product is identified based on the economic conditions and the demand forecasting methods, then it is the duty of the person to produce that product. And the next thing is fixing of the price. That's in Unit 1 and Unit 2 we have seen. Once the product price is fixed, the next thing is choosing the best place to sell that particular product. That place is called as the markets and new economic environments. Here, the concepts are all includes types of the competition and markets, features of the perfect competition, monopoly and monopolistic competition, price output determination in the case of the perfect competition and imperfect competitions, and features and evaluation of different forms of the business organizations like solo proprietorship, partnership, joint stock companies, public enterprises and private enterprises. So if you see this, the first terminology in this Unit 3, that is defining market. So market is a place or a point where the buyers and sellers will negotiate about the exchanging of a product or service is called as the market. And if you see these features of this market, it is a group of customers and consisting of existing and potential customers. And that too, they should have need and wants to satisfy the customers. And they must have money to spend, that is ability, and they must have willing to spend through the exchanging relationship. If it is all existing, then the place which they are meeting, that may be a physical place or a virtual place, whatever it is. But if the buyers are all meeting the if the sellers are all meeting the needs, wants, desires of the buyers with their existing products, then that place is called as the next market structure. That refers to the characteristics of the market and market conditions in terms of its influencing behavior and performancing of the firms that sell in the market is called as a market structure. For example, in a market, if the more the number of the sellers are all there and more the number of the buyers are all there, then we can say that the customers and the sellers and the buyers are all unlimited. That is the characteristic of that particular market. And in some markets, the buyers are all less, the sellers are all more. Again, it is characteristics of that particular place. In some markets, that market is not physically existing, as we are all purchasing in the online. So if it is virtually existing, that is again the characteristics of that market. So if any person wants to go to any market, then the place of that market, the dimensions of that market, the participants of that market, availability of the products in that particular place, and pricing conditions, terms and conditions, etc. Everything will be included under the market structure. And based on these characteristics, even they have decided or they divided as perfect competitive markets and imperfect competitive markets. So let us say, because market means the meeting point of buyers and sellers. If the buyers and sellers both are in sufficient number, which means sellers are at larger point, buyers are also at larger point. It doesn't mean that buyers are all 100 means sellers are also 100. It is not the meaning of a perfect competition. Even if the sellers are all 10, but the products which is available with these 10 sellers are 100 products, that is going to be satisfying these 100 buyers, then we can say that perfect competitive markets. And the buyers are all 100 and the sellers are all 10, but the products which is available with these sellers is only 60. So there is an imperfect situations. The need is 100, but the availability is only 60. So the competition will be more among the sellers. That is called as the imperfect competitive market. So here, let us say only one seller is there, and larger number of the buyers are all there. Monopoly. Two sellers are all there. Larger number of the buyers are all there. Duopoly. Few members are all there, and larger number of the buyers are all there. Oligopoly. And larger number of the sellers are all there. One buyer is there. Monopsony, Geopoli, Oligopsony. So like this, based on the number of the buyers and the sellers and the affecting factors of that characteristics of that particular market is called as the market structure. Next thing is defining of perfect competitive market. A market structure in which all firms in an industry are price takers and in which there is a freedom of entry into that particular markets and exit from that industry is called as a perfect competitive market. If we go to the fruits market, there we'll see the number of the persons and there any person can come and purchase that one. Similarly, same products will be, we can see more or less, and prices are also of that products will be also be similar. That products will be called, that kind of markets will be called as perfect competitive markets. In the imperfect competitive markets, one of the markets is monopoly. That is, if there is only one seller, mono means single, poly means seller. A single person is there and selling, and he has to meet the larger number of the buyers, then that market will be called as monopoly market. Here there is no competitor for him and he is only the supplier to sell his product, and he is the price maker and the people buyers are all the price shakers, and it is very hard to enter into that particular products by any competitor, and monopolistic controlling of prices it is there by the person. Next thing is geopoly. Geo means two, poly means seller. If there are two sellers are all existing in any market, that will be called as the geopoly. Best example in this cool drink beverages is top brands are all either Coca-Cola will come from the Coca-Cola or from the Pepsi. Other brands are all there, but they are not that much of have the market share in that in beverages companies. Only these two are the key market share in this existing markets, then that will be called as the geopoly. Next one is oligopoly. If there is a competition among few sellers, then oligopoly it is there. It is more or less lesser than to the or very closer to the perfect competitive, but not equivalent to the perfect competitive. Here, independence of the firms are all there. Possibility for the collusions and the negotiations by the customers, and 5 firms concentration ratio will be not more than 50%. Some barriers are all there to enter into that one. Product differentiation is there. That is all characteristics of this oligopoly. And monopsony. Mono means single and opsony means buyer. If there is only one buyer, then that market will be called as the monopsony market. So generally, if it is an agricultural product, then agricultural products are all producing in that one locality as produced by all the farmers, but only one buyer, that is the government, is going to be purchasing that products. Then we can say that monopsony market for agricultural products. Can't say that all the products, but some exceptions are all there too. Next thing is, what is the cost plus pricing? The average cost at normal capacity of output is ascertained, and then the conventional margin of the profit is added to the cost to arrive at the price. Then that is called as the marginal cost. So let us say a product is produced for 100 rupees and 50% of the profit if they are expecting on that one means 150 will be the price of that product. Then that is called as the cost plus margin expectation of that product. That is the cost plus pricing methodology. Then market skimming. So skimming means while approaching or fixing a product price, generally they'll fix the high prices at the initial stages, and when it is grabbing the attention of the customers, then slowly it reduces its prices. That is called as the market skimming. So here Apple products or Sony PlayStations, Tesla models, etc. These are all high-end models and high demandable products, and luxury products too. In that products, generally the prices will be initially very high. Then once it because the fashion changes, keep on changes, and if the next fashion comes, then they will reduce the prices of that particular products, and these high-end models are also will get with lower than the cost when they were introduced. That strategies of fixing the prices is called as market skimming. Market penetrations means if the competition is very high, so whereas the price skimming is possible at the monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly, that is in the imperfect competition markets. If it is a perfect competition market, already the larger number of the people are there. So the people has to think about the existence or sustainability in that particular market. If it has to done means, first of all they need to reduce their profit levels, and so that they can reduce the price. So initially the prices will be of lower. Once they got the attention of the customers and they are grabbing the more market share, then they will start increasing their market product prices. So from low to end high, they will fix that product prices. That is called as market penetration strategies. Next one is the definition of the solo trader. That is, if a single person is the whole and sole authoritative person to establish any organization, that is in the markets we have seen. So here, whether it is a monopoly competition, whatever it is, if a person has entered as a marketer and a trader, that person for that whatever the room or the company which he is establishing, for all the capital which is investing on that particular business, a responsibility is vexed with one person, then that organizations will be called as solo proprietary organizations. Here it is, its characteristics are all single ownership, no sharing of the profit and losses, one man's capital, and his responsibility is unlimited, and his legal formalities are also very, very less, and he only the person to control his business. So these are all the characteristics of this solo trader. Partnership. Instead of one person, if two or more people are come together and they have agreed legally to share, to invest and to share the business profits, then that is called as the partnership. Its characteristics are voluntary registration and continuity of that business even after the death of any partner by replacing with another nominee, and contractual relationship between them, transfer of the interest, they can sell off their partnership to any other also, and mutually agreed people are there sharing, they can share their profits and losses, and here the responsibility is not with one person, that is vexed with partners, and the membership in doing that particular businesses are also very easy. If in the partnership business, not more than 20 people are allowed. More than 100 people are coming together and they want to start an organization, a larger organization. Then that organizations, that people are belongs to nowhere related to the government, and if they are all related to the private members, then it is called as the private sector organization. Or even if it is the government, if the authority or the investment of that government is going to be selling to the Indians private members, then that is called as the privatizations. That is injecting the private ownership in the state-owned public enterprises with the strategies to reduce the role of the government in the business is called as the privatization. Globalizations means we can see that one raw material is in one country, skilled labor is in the other country, and the manufacturing place in another country. So that is, the products availability is not available in one place. It is available in different geographical areas. But due to the advanced transportational levels and technological levels, entire country, we are communicating and we are all enjoying one country's products, and we are able to get the other country products under all. That integration of the economy of the countries with the world economy in the view of eliminating the supply bottlenecks and improving the investment climatic conditions, and provide a wide choices of quality goods and services to the ultimate customers. That is called as the globalization. So next thing is monopolistic competition. Monopoly means single seller, larger number of buyers. Buyers doesn't have the choice here, but a monopolistic competitions means the buyers who are not able to do that, take that monopoly product, can satisfy their needs and wants with another differentiated product, then that is called as the monopolistic competition. For example, there is no alternative for McDonald's chicken. But the chicken lovers, instead of purchasing the McDonald's in this lockdown situations, they can go with this another local chicken producers. They can have that one. So that is called as the, but the chicken which is available in the McDonald's is not at all equivalent to the chicken which is provided by the local people. But the people are satisfying their needs, wants, desires with these two things, then it is called as a monopolistic competition. So it's a form of competitions that is characterizes a number of industries that are familiar to consumers in their day-to-day lives. So that is about the definitions and terminology in this unit 3, that is markets and business environment. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.